You ever say something like it might be like a little racist, and then they don't laugh? You're like, well, now I just look racist. Like now I just look bad.
And it's their fault.
Yeah.
And it's their
if
fault.
You laugh.
You co-sign.
No, I haven't.
Actually, no.
Let me ring that fucking bell.
Pass that over here.
I can't get canceled on my own podcast, can I?
Yeah.
No.
You did it.
They're literally scraping the F off.
Welcome to Foster the Podcast.
Don't talk too loud.
If you could just not make any waves, please.
Is there anything worse than a fat kid pouting? Where you're like, knock it off, you little shilly. Even I'm like,
I got you shit. I got something to cry about. Oh, welcome to Foster the Podcast.
Oh, boy.
I'm so excited about this episode
Oh, boy.
already.
Yeah.
One of my favorite people on the entire planet, Eric Rocha, is here, you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, guys. One of the funniest comics I've ever seen. Hilarious, good guy. And that's about it.
Your soul is worth $2. Thank you. I didn't need it.
And Employee of the Year at the Comedy Store, guys.
Oh, thank you.
Congrats.
That's a huge deal.
It's cool. I'd give it back in a heartbeat because there's
How
maybe
much money did you give him?
$2.
Best $2 I've ever spent.
So no, there's maybe like 2 people that aren't door staff. Like door guys are awesome. But there's like 2 people that are like, well, I've been working here a while, and okay.
Yeah.
Shit. Like,
yeah.
And
Where it taints the thing.
and I'm like,
because,
no, I don't want, take the team.
right.
I don't care.
Because you got to be like,
Yeah.
well, I didn't really deserve it.
and in my head, I'm like, no, I love it here. Like it's home. It's amazing. So yeah. But thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I'm very proud of you. And no one deserves it. I don't know who the other 2 people are, but I'm sure. That's the thing, though. Like, we have this tendency, like, when something good happens and then someone gets, like, you have this tendency to, I want to be the guy who's like, yeah, I deserve this.
Well, yeah. I mean, and there it's like I said, and it's not performers. It wasn't like door guys. It was because all the door guys are great to me.
Oh, okay.
It was just like, yeah, I'm not even. It's apples and oranges, man. Like
Right.
I don't do what you do. I don't know how to do what you do.
It's just Julio in the back.
and
Like,
it's
I've been
just
on fries for 12 years.
And this person vocalized it to me, and I was just like, that's how I know it wasn't a comedy. It was just like, okay, yeah, like
we
usually,
resent silently. Yeah, we'll never.
when you can mask it with a joke, it's just like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
they meant some of that shit, but okay.
Well, we're all about building high self-esteem here. I want to be the guy who like doesn't get it, but it's like, yeah, I deserve that. I can't wait to be that guy. Like, why did he get that? Why did I get employee? I don't even work at the Comedy Store. Hey, man, why wasn't I up for this?
I do have to say this though. Don Barris, the great Don Barris,
Legend.
Late night always goes up last at the Comedy Store. He came up to me right after. He goes, I just wanted to say that you totally, good job, but I totally fucking deserve that over you. And I go, you're not even a door guy, Don. And he goes, and then what's more embarrassing is that you're crying like a fucking baby up there. Because I got choked up, and I was just like, I love you guys so much. Like this is so not needed. Like,
Pussy.
dude, all of them were, and that was it. There were bartenders in the back. You fucking scoundrels, and they were just like, show us your asshole. And I'm like, but I drove here from Colorado, and I just wanted to be a comedian. And they're
I
like,
was a kid with a dream.
boo.
Gay.
So nice to each other.
We're out of time. Thank you very much.
You?
Sorry.
My favorite thing in comedy is if I'm doing a show with you and hearing you laugh in the back of the room, I do not give a shit. And I've done shows before where 100 people haven't laughed except for you, and this is the best show I've ever done. I do not care if I hear you laugh in the back of the room.
We go back a ways, man. We go back a ways.
Yep. Fourth Wall Comedy Club. Eric saw me in a dress on Halloween, and I've never seen him laugh harder in my entire life. I think I saw you, and I was like, and you're like,
Yeah.
It just for 15 to 20 minutes, it just couldn't stop.
I've seen so many men in dresses, it doesn't like doing it. Just like,
You're like,
yeah.
what?
And then I got the idea of it, and I was like, oh, that's brilliant. I was like, oh, it's amazing.
All right, so we were talking about before the mics were on, and I made you be quiet because I want to get into it when mics are on.
No.
What happened?
All right. See,
And we'll bleep out. We won't get you sued.
okay, so I'm on a lot of like homosexual hookup apps. I don't know why I have a family. I'm just kidding.
I was just a boy from Colorado.
I'm married.
Don't tell my wife. He's got a pride bandana on. Don't tell my kids.
I know. I'm a completely different I'm a lawyer. So
Wait, so what are the what are the difference between Grindr, Growler? Because I looked all this up before you came over on my phone. I was looking at my apps and
I just-
Look it up.
I was doing
looking at
research on my
burn-
apps and.
I was looking at the burner phone.
What's Scruff, Growler, Grinder?
I'm gonna add one. There's Sniffies as well.
Sniffies?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. You haven't heard of this? Oh my god. I'm like
Christie's married.
Are you ready for this? So it's that
married.
it's that intense. So Grindr was like the hookup app. And I think everybody knows you look so then Scruff is like if you're like more like into I think it's more like hairy or more like otter jock, things like that. And then there was Growler, which was strictly like bear driven, like because it's got a
Growler.
bear paw, like
Got it.
And so there's a new one called Sniffies. We'll get into Sniffies.
Okay.
Sniffies is probably the, you know how like Playboy was like, oh, how risque, and Hustler's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Playboy's like, here's a nipple. Hustler's like, here's her entire asshole.
here, let me, if I can open this, can we get a little, there's like a clamp.
The camera's inside of it. She had a Reuben for lunch.
The photographer's dressed up in like a Gallagher type thing. Like the front row in a Gallagher show.
No. No, thank you.
Sorry. Did everybody get one in? Don't shake your head at me.
None
He's
for me,
downloading
thanks.
Sniffies right now.
Yeah, I just made my profile.
It's Eric.
I was gonna say eating a Reuben. All right, that's enough.
So Sniffies is just perverse.
There's a hotel and it will tell you like, and this is what's cool. Sniffies is pervert, but it's brilliant because it will tell you where the best hookup spots are, and it will tell you when. So it will be like
Like
hey,
when Yelp's like the peak
Yeah,
of the restaurant
exactly.
is
Well,
7 to 9.
Gotcha.
it says like, I won't say the hotel because I don't want to burn the spot, but
Does it start with an A?
maybe.
Does it end with a Z?
Jeez.
Because it's not just the
Can
gay
I
thing.
buy a vowel? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, don't burn the spot either. So
I'll see you there at 8:30.
Oh, man.
Tuesdays.
I'm gonna be like, oh, I should have took that left, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, any straight guys want to try some? As they're pushing me out, so it will tell you like where to go and how to get there. Like, don't take the elevator though because that requires a card. Take the stairs, and you're like, huh? It feels like it's an app that's run by gay guys and it's for like gay guys. Like, don't come here now. There's a lot of cops on patrol. Blah 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 blah. And you're just like, oh wow, that's great. Like, look at us caring about each other.
Wow.
And then
Community.
there
It's
you
a
go.
it's a community app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it feels very like
Scavenger hunt? Sounds like
Yeah.
a scavenger hunt. For
I
Dick.
think when you're thinking Pokemon. Pokemon is what you're describing.
Scavenger hunt for Dick.
Pokemon. Ooh. So, anyways, God, we're gonna get this story.
Oh yeah,
All
there's a story. I forgot.
This is okay. So, I'm just kind of looking at people that have looked at my page, and I see this not film celebrity, but community celebrity, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy's huge, and I'm like, and he keeps kind of looking at my page, and then I'm like, fuck. I want to say something, but I don't want to, I don't want to scare him away like
he's famous.
crass. Yeah, and I'm just like, okay. So, you have sniffies, but then you have the other end of people that you like, oh, I'd love to bring this home to Thanksgiving or, what I mean, whatever. So I message and I'm like, I don't know if it's really you, but if it is you, I think you're awesome. And I said, I'm Eric. How are you? And about maybe like 5 to 6 minutes later, it was just blocked. And I was like, oh shit.
It was you.
And I was like, oh wow. And I mean, it was that fast where it was just like the minute that person like saw it was like, oh.
But here's my problem with that. When you told me that story, it's like, if you're famous and you're on a dating app, you're going to block people who recognize you?
It's a completely different, like now, and I don't know if it's a generational thing, so I'll be the old gay guy pointing, like, in my day,
Sure.
yeah, we used to blow through a wall.
Right.
Whatever the hell it was. But these guys will not show their face. They don't like showing their faces. And I won't talk
Celebrities
to you.
or just gay guys?
And like a lot of gay guys,
Right,
now,
okay, all right.
they don't
Just
want
regular
to show
guys.
their face on something as crude as sniffies.
Sure.
I do because quite honestly, I have to have a track record of who I'm sleeping with, because quite honestly, like if you get something, it's not only just like I've got to deal with this. It's just like I have to let the other person know, hey, so this is what happened.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? I've gotten something for someone. I've given something to someone. So that, you know what I mean?
You got to run it up the train.
Yeah,
Right.
you have to let people know, like, this is the thing. And that was always the community that I came up when I was young. It was just like, you can't be afraid of this, because if you're going to play this way, you have to be ready for these kind of risks. And now, like, anonymous, and it's just like, that's cool, but you've got to know a little bit about, like,
Right.
and at least that's how I feel about it. Some guys are just like, blindfold me and let's do this, and it's just like,
So you never even see him.
yeah.
My
and
buddy was on one of those apps, and he got a message. It was like, this is my address. All the lights will be off. Come in, put it in my mouth, and then leave. And he was like, that's too discreet. Like, that's just like, I need a little accountability here.
Yeah. What was his name?
I'll hook you guys up.
Yeah.
You're gay. He's gay. You guys should
It'll
meet.
be fine.
Does that happen to you when people are like, oh, I have a friend who's gay. You guys should meet.
And you know what's sad is I'm always like, well, I haven't really got another. Yeah, I don't got anything else coming down the pipe. Yeah, why not?
They do that with us sober people all the time. Like, you don't drink. My friend doesn't drink. You guys, like, the only thing we have in common is we both used to burn our lives to the ground. You used to be a mess. She used to be a mess. You're bald. She's bald. You guys should.
So it's just a weird thing though, where I'm like, because I was like, this has to be this person.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is wild.
It's like if
Sure.
you're on Tinder and you see Paris Hilton, right? And you go, hey, are you Paris Hilton? And then she blocks you. Like, how dare you?
Exactly. Yeah, and I was just like, and I gave him more like leg room
Yeah.
to just be like, if it is you, then yeah, whatever. But again, that's part of that app too, though. Like, what? You can't go to a health food store looking for a Snickers. It's just like, okay, yeah, you're right about,
But you also can't be that big of a celebrity and being on Sniffies and then like just think you're not going to get noticed.
That's why I'm telling you, like, it is. Oh, okay. I other story. I'm in WeHo, and I see. I'll name this one.
Okay.
I see Dante Martin, who is my favorite star. Like, I have like 4 that are like, they're awesome. Like, and they're cool.
Will you pull them up, Isaac?
So, anyways,
No, I was just on Sniffies for the last 5 years.
You already ruined the whole algorithm.
I'm not
looking for
kidding.
that
I
celebrity.
pulled it up.
Did you pull it
I
up?
found a thing called a pump and dump, and I found 3 orgies, I saw more dicks in the last 5 minutes than I have ever
Could you
seen
say
in my whole
it?
life.
Could you say it not like one of the bullies in Forrest Gump? I saw a pump and dump. I saw it.
I don't know what a pump and dump is,
Can't sit here.
but I kind of want to know. I want to find out what a pump.
All right, well, grab the mic. Let's go.
Isaac's Isaac's homophobia turns into Foghorn Leghorn. I saw a pump and I say.
I say.
You gotta keep your mouth open, son. The good ones go right by you, boy. You understand what I'm saying, son? I keep talking, but you're not hearing a word, are you, boy?
I told Kristie, I was like, our last few episodes have been really straight. We're gonna have Eric in here, and it's like the most straightest dude heavy episode we've had.
Oh God.
Oh.
So,
Kristie, you're on an app, right? You're not married. You're on an app. You see who's the football player that everyone likes. What's his name? Who's dating Taylor Swift?
I don't know.
That guy.
yeah.
And you message,
Okay.
hey, are you blah, 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 and then he just blocks you?
Yeah, no, it's very dumb. If you're putting yourself out in a social media place, that's what it is. It's social media, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
People are obviously going to recognize you. You shouldn't be surprised. Or do like you said, and do like the body pic from,
Or
go
he
on
was
with your life.
catfishing and he got caught.
Or his
And
catfish
that
got caught.
like I said, that could have easily been it as well.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, but here's the thing: if you are going to do that, I'm not asking you to identify more pictures of yourself.
Right.
If you're going to string somebody along that far, you could string them along a little bit further, because I'm not asking like, do you have any more pics?
Right.
Do you want to meet up? You could have easily been like the lore of, yes, I'm going to play this person for just a little bit.
Right.
Right.
And because I'm feeding into it, where I'm just like, I just want to see where this goes. But like I said, on the opposite side of that, because and maybe you have the same kind of reaction. So I see Dante Martin, and I was on the phone like trying to get this show put together, and he comes up to me, he goes, and he sees my Comedy Store stuff, and he's like, do you work there? And I go, yeah. And he goes, are you a comedian? He's like, yeah. I
You're
said,
like,
yeah.
I am employee of the year. I'll have you
I don't know
know.
if you heard.
And he says, I absolutely love that place. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, I mainly go to the roast. He goes, but
I used to go to the hotel.
Well, no, this is what I respect about him, though, is like, and I don't know why this is such a good like friendship of comedians and adult entertainers, but it has always been like mutual respect.
Yeah.
in this avenue where it's just like, and he was like, yeah, I'm a huge Comedy Store fan, and I looked at him and I was like, I'm a fan of you as well. And he was just like, oh, like, and he was as gleefully like, oh, well, thank
Right.
you so
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
And I was like, dude, anytime you want to go to the Comedy Store, let me know. I was like, I'll tell, especially like and that's just as a comedy fan, because it's just like when somebody comes up to you like that, you're like, yeah, man, that's great. And
that's
then
a
when
cool thing.
somebody like I said, like him, and by the way, he's awesome at what he does. Awesome. Like, that industry is so hard, because I can tell you this. I've had sex when I haven't want to have sex, and my ex-boyfriend was like, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore. And we were like, why, what's wrong?
Right, yeah,
And he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you are, no, it is so unattractive right now. How bad you don't want to. So I can't imagine fucking somebody that you don't,
Right.
So
on
it's just
camera,
like,
when you have to.
exactly.
Yeah, totally.
But the other element of it too is, it's like, yeah, like the Comedy Store is like Disneyland for kids. That's what or for adults. It's just like, you want them to have a blast, and it's just like, yeah, dude, like come hang out, and yeah, you'll love this place. So
Totally. That's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah, there's like every time they do the AVN Awards in Vegas, there's always a comedian performing, or they always like the comedy and somehow goes good together.
Here's what's weird. So check this out. At the AVN, Bill Hicks has hosted, Sam Kinison has hosted, Jim Norton has hosted, Greg Fitzsimmons, David Tell twice, Doug Stanhope.
Wow.
Imagine that lineup. I think even Lewis Black.
Wow. Yeah.
So they're just mutual.
Yeah.
They're mutual, like, acquaintances to it. And I think the biggest thing is because, like, if you were to talk to like Dante Martin about his thing, he would tell you, and not in a way that's like scandalous, but it's business. I tell dick jokes in front of my mother.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? You think he would judge me for that?
Right.
And it's just like, no. So there's something about a mutual admiration there that I thought was awesome. And I'm just like, hell yeah, that's
cool.
so cool.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you have these other
Blocky.
celebrities, and especially this one where it's just like, oh, so we're just gonna pretend that,
Right.
you know, yeah. We were doing a show one time outside back when, you know, the pandemic was still going on, and there was a park, and I go, man, usually when we're in the park, we're doing something much different than telling jokes, and everybody's like, oh. I was like, shake that tree and see if it falls out.
That's what we were talking about. Kristie talked about on another episode. It was like guys without senses of humor, right? Or like when you go, it's the worst, right? When you're dating, is it hard because you're very, very funny, right? And you'll say things like that, and if it doesn't get a laugh, because I know that like if I'll go out with somebody in the past and I'll say something very funny and they don't laugh, I'm like, that's I would rather you cheat on me. You know what I mean? Like this is not
Seriously, though.
It's not gonna work.
Awful.
A person with not a sense of humor is the worst.
And it's kind of it's a good way to gauge too, though.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that because it's like, look, if we're not gonna laugh, because sometimes like my ex and I were still very good friends, and I would make jokes just to him, like and legit, like, you know, open the door for him and, you know, stop the door with my foot and go, fuck.
I do that all the time. I do that all of the time. I think it's where you like fake fall. It's the funniest thing to me. Does Nick not ever do that? He doesn't open the door for you and acts like it hits him in the. Does he do it?
See what I mean? But or I'll go up.
Literally all the time.
It's so funny every
He
time.
does it to the kids. He does it to me. It's constant.
But that's the thing. I'll go to the bathroom and I'll come back and I'll be like, may I sit here? I think you're gorgeous. And he's like, just sit down, stop. And I mean, that was, and he would laugh, and I just like, yeah, like
Right.
all of that good stuff. So
You ever say something like it might be like a little racist, and then they don't laugh? You're like, well, now I just look racist. Like now I just look bad.
And it's their fault.
Yeah.
And it's their
If
fault.
you
for
laugh.
sure. To co-sign.
If
then
they
it's
laugh, you don't feel as
hilarious.
bad. Yeah.
Right.
If they don't laugh, you're like, you know, I was kidding, right? Like I don't.
no, I haven't.
Actually, no.
Yeah. Let me ring that fucking bell.
Pass that over here.
I can't get canceled on my own podcast, can I?
Yeah.
No.
You did it.
They're literally scraping the F off. Keep that O.
I wanted to do this thing that we have you on, and it's it's a Reddit. It's the top 5 most awkward first dates, and the reason I want to do that now is because there's 2 things that fall into that category. So I think it's
These
perfect.
stories make my toes curl.
I know. That's why I bring them in, because I know that Kristie gets so uncomfortable. So here's the top 5 awkward first date stories from Reddit. Number 5 is she admitted to getting a booty call while we were getting drinks.
Wow.
I went to the restroom. I came back and she was gone.
Hey,
Oh, wow. Well,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
is what it is.
Hey, listen.
Apparently something wasn't going right.
yeah.
Be more funny, less
wasn't
racist.
Start there.
Number 4, he took me roller skating and he threw up 4 times, twice on me and once to the bathroom.
Oh.
And here's number 3, and here's why I wanted to do this now. I went on a first date with a guy. I asked him if he liked to travel. He said he believed traveling was fake and that the earth was flat, and then quickly escalated to denial of some historical event.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
This sentence of traveling is fake.
Traveling is
crazy.
It is the wildest thing I've ever read.
Traveling is
I was
fake?
going to say, well, I love how it dives into, like, the suggestion, like, we're talking about Hitler, right?
Yeah, it always goes like, what? I just asked you if you like Barbados. Like, what do you...
Could
Really?
you imagine?
Oh, how's your ziti?
Oh my gosh. I would take off like a cartoon character where my feet would start running and then just a puff of smoke as I went out the door.
Your eyes are still
Yeah.
there. They got to come back.
Yeah, my clothes have to catch up to me.
Would have been like really awkward. He's like, "How's your borscht?"
And another thing. Like,
Your latke's okay though.
yeah. Oh, we'll never come back to Cantor's ever again.
I hate this place the worst. Okay.
Number 2, my date asked if I wanted to go to Subway for lunch. I said no because I don't like sandwiches. He really wanted it, so instead of ordering it to go, he went to the restaurant, sat down and ate lunch for 30 minutes while I sat in the car.
You know the like.
Wow.
Could you just have to have Subway?
Sorry for the delayed reaction on that, Belle. That's so many pieces of that are bad. So do you want Subway for lunch? No, I don't. I don't like sandwiches. Okay, well, I'm going to stop by. I'm going to stop by anyways
I'ma
and
go.
Grab one for myself.
Right.
Even if it was to go, that is bizarre as all get out.
Okay, so that is the, and I feel like we do deal with like extremities on certain types of behavior, because I will say this: the worst sexual experience I've ever had also dealt with a gay star. Again, not the one I mentioned. I won't even say this one just because he's pretty big too, but
And he's also famous.
yes.
Nice.
And I was just like, I was doing my thing, and this is what was wild. It was like 3:30 in the morning. It had been a party, back when I was a party, and it was just like, I kind of like, what is this person doing? And they were looking at pictures of a photo shoot that they had taken.
Their own pictures?
And it was their own. And I was just like, this is clearly just finish and I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
And I was
Do you
like,
need me to be here?
yeah,
right now?
and I was, here's the thing. I asked, I was like, everything okay? And
Everything okay up there?
He was like, yeah, it's great. And I was just like,
Do you like this filter?
what do you think of Rio de Janeiro? Is that good? Or
X Pro 3?
oh, I think it needs a kitten.
It'd be like hooking up with a chick and she's looking at her self-tape from earlier in
And
the day.
that was the thing of it, was I was just like,
God.
but this is, I'm no better in the story, by the way, because I was like, all right, that's fine. Yeah, I don't give a shit. No, that's a good, like, and they were hot fucking pictures, but I was just like,
Still.
this is what we've become.
You want to get in the game here?
Listen, before we started the podcast back up, we did this for years before, and we have never heard someone tell a story, right, about a super bad date that didn't end with them still hooking up with the person.
Oh, it's never, yeah.
Men,
Never in
women,
5 years.
Straight, gay, does not make a difference. If you're, what
Why-
we have
why
found
is
is that
that?
people
Stay the
just
course.
commit to the bit.
Why
just
is
finish
that?
it up.
For the plot. So we can do a podcast about it later.
Oh my God.
Because if you would be like, and then I left and I had boundaries, you're like, well, that sucks. Cool. You stood up for yourself.
We need shots of Isaac just going.
I don't know. Isaac has been on his phone since you mentioned Sniffies. I'm really concerned right now. He hasn't got off his phone.
I'll tell you what, I'm busy tonight.
I know a certain hotel on Sunset.
Well, hang on. My phone has been going crazy.
I set my proximity to 5 feet.
Pussy, I got mine at 2. It's like Alien. He's getting closer. Get away from her, you bitch.
Oh my god.
This is a fun game, though.
Yeah.
I will.
But catfishing people?
Sniffies.
No.
Game.
Fun game.
What, are you playing hide and seek?
Yeah.
You better not lose.
You're gonna end up getting married.
Shoot. Oh, whatever.
All right, number one. Number one most awkward first date. I met a guy on Tinder and we spoke at Lynx for a few weeks. I was excited to meet him. We went for a beer at a local quiet brewery. She put the word quiet in it I'm sure that will come up later. He showed up drunk, opened with a commentary about how I'll be fun because I'm large-chested and only 4'9", and thus a walking tit job. He then yelled anti-Asian slurs across the bar when a minor fender bender happened outside. He told me heavy graphic details about his morning bowel movement. He then gave me the explicit recounting of the first time he went down on a woman, and then he ended the evening by yelling at me when I said I was going to call it a night.
Great.
There's so many
Excellent.
layers to that.
Good
Excellent.
Lord.
Excellent.
I mean, and it's animal. but the thing of it is it's just like, I guess if the consent is there, it's very different with gaming, because I feel like, well, I don't know if it's all that different, because I mean, it can quite literally be I'm a hole. Here we go. I'm at, this hotel and this floor.
Well, let me ask. That's what I was going to ask you. And is there, because we talk to women all the time, and we're like, you're on a date with someone. Is there a thing that immediately you're like, no, I'm out? Do you have that thing, or you're like, well, we're already here?
It's so different now, because honestly, you're juggling a career, and like I'll go on a date now, and I'm just like, I could just go back to regular hookups, because I'm like, let's say I really like this person, I want to go further with this person. It's just like right now I am just trying to do the next thing with, comedically with my career, where it's just like, man, this takes all of you, and it's just like,
Yeah.
son of a gun, like
Totally.
I mean, we know each other from way back when we used to do, you watched me do terrible open mics, and then I would come up to you and be like, could I get a beer?
Yeah.
And you were just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But it's just like, from the open mic days to now the Comedy Store, where it's just like, it's 11 years of just that getting your ass kicked. So every night was devoted to that. And like, it still pretty much is. So it's just like, am I really, I can't be that selfish bastard that's just like, I know we're going to try to build this relationship, but I'm in no way to do it. So that's kind of why I'm like, it goes either way.
It's easier just to hook up.
It is.
Yeah.
But to a degree where it's just like, friends with benefits actually is kind of nice, because you are able to track what's going on, how it's going.
And men can, I will say I think men can separate that a little bit better than women can.
Is
that fair to say? Because I think there's an emotional connection with women eventually. Would you disagree with that?
Yes.
You would disagree?
I would disagree with
Interesting.
that. I
Counterpoint?
would disagree with that. My counterpoint.
Women fall in love.
Not you.
I was gonna say I will
you.
say this
Well,
too. I have
I catch it. Well, yeah, I'm not good at it either, I guess.
I have been that I have been that guy who's just like, hey, yo, hey,
Yeah.
can I get you soup? Or you said you were sick.
Yeah.
Can I get you something from Cantor's? Or
Yeah. I know you
Mexico,
said
maybe
you
you
weren't
need a
looking for
pharmacy.
anything serious, but
Yeah.
you want to get married? I was inside you.
I think repeats of something casual is tricky, because I think you always run the risk that one person is going to start to buy in more than the other person.
Always.
I don't think it's always the woman. I think that just as many times men will start to chase the woman. Justin?
What? What? What happened?
Okay. I think that it'll happen both ways. I think that a lot of times men will fall for the unavailable chick as well. And there is something alluring about the fact that, someone's unavailable. The whole reason you're doing it is that someone's unavailable. And so it kind of draws the other
Yeah.
person in too. So
Why is that?
there's the risk
Why?
of that happening. I don't know, because we're all sick puppies.
Why is it? Why is it
Like
when they're
puppies.
like sort of like walking away and you're like, where you going?
Right.
but
Hey.
but no, was it me?
Yeah,
And they're like,
I'll
"Yes!"
be better. I'll be better. I'll be a good boy.
So I mean, and that's kind of the thing of it, is it just like, I like my ex is married now, and the guy's great, and I'm just like, I am so happy that he's happy, and I'm just like, because I really do feel that. And then I was just like, but I know I used to be able to do this pretty good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
like those meanwhile I'm renting. He owns like 2 houses, and I'm walking around like
He'll be back.
like Christian Bale, just like sucking in my gut, just like, oh fuck, pass
For
out my
nobody
house.
at all.
To the fucking kid mowing the yard and looking in the window, go, that guy's sad.
You'll come crawling back.
Meanwhile, at his house, I'm looking at his. Is there a squirrel in our tree?
Closes the blinds. Is it hard? I really wanted to ask you this because I'm in West Hollywood. I live in West Hollywood. I'm down in West Hollywood all the time. Is it confusing because all straight dudes is it confusing down there now? Because it's like you go to Pride, right? And all straight dudes look like me and all the gay dudes look like you. You're like, what's going on?
Look at Dante Martin, you'll know that's not true.
Because, like the guys will come in and they'll have like the nail polish and the manicure. Then they'll be like, with their girlfriend. It's like, it's weird. It's weird down there.
The short answer is I don't fucking know anymore.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm 39 and I'm telling you, I feel 60 over there sometimes.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, I don't know what's going on, because at one point we were saying, like, I remember pride parades on Christopher Street, and you would see like a flag with like a baby stroller and like the kid like having sunglasses, and you were talking about legislature and things like that, and it was just like, okay, like are we trying to show people, like, what are we showing here? Is it like the bills, like, because these kids don't know anything about laws or any shit like that, so
right.
But you would see like they were just walking and they were trying to support whoever was with them. All right, I get it, you don't like gay people.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, because I bartend at Sir in West Hollywood, and then one of the bartenders is gay, and he'll like go up to guys, and then it'll be like, a dude with a crop top on with his nails painted. And then he'll go and talk to him and be like, actually, I'm waiting for my wife. He's like, well, I don't understand what's going on.
But here's the other aspect, too, though, is I know a few go-go boys that do not like the fact that straight men are down there because they feel like it's taken away from their gay space, their safe space to be whatever queer means to you.
Yeah.
So, and where I've seen that kind of happen is guys will go down there to specifically try to pick up women. And you'll see like those guys that like they're standing right next to like a dancing go-go boy, and the go-go boy's like, get the fuck away from my box if you're not gonna tip me.
Yeah.
Which that is like completely, even some women though too, where, I've seen girls try to get up on a box that a go-go boy was dancing on, and they're trying to be, and that happens so fucking often.
They're trying to be the center of attention. That's what they're trying to do.
Calm down, Justin.
I've
But,
seen it too.
they have
no
too
one's
much-
looking at me for a second. I gotta get up on this box.
They're getting up on a bike. Let me up there. I know how to do this. And this poor fucking hot go-go boy is just like, hi, can you not? Hey, bitch, get off my foot. It's just like, then he's got to pull out the big guns.
He's like, I just trying to make a couple $100.
Yeah, there was one time where I was hammered, right? And I had like, I got like friends that are go-go boys, and it's just like, I don't need to just, try to put it in their underwear and feel their dick. It's just like, what's going on? I haven't seen you in a while. I'm on my way to the
Yeah.
So this night I was hanging out, and I was hammered, and I was just like, yeah. And I was giving one to somebody, but I couldn't reach him. And I was like, move! And it was like two drunk girls, and they were just like, what? We're dancing with it. We're dancing. And the go-go was like, I know, but you're not tipping, so please just move. And they're like, we want to talk to the man, and it's just like, wow.
We want to talk to the
I'm just
of
like,
the Abbey.
And I'm just like, I was like amazed. I was like, it was in that vicinity, but it was just like, I don't know what's going on down there, because now you have like, we wanted people to come down and be like, look, we're not people that you should be afraid of. Like, we're just like you. We're not going to hurt you. But then the other aspect of it too now is like, and I don't know how I feel about this yet, is like, they don't like, because I have a lot of straight bartender friends that bartend down there too, and they would tell you, I don't like that. Where I'm just like, look, we can't self-segregate either, because that's just as terrible. So I don't know where to stand on it.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of intersections where that's it, where it's like you want, like you said, you can't self-segregate, right?
Yes,
but
I'm
then
so
you also
worried
want to
about
have
that,
safe
too.
spaces to talk about or to be however and to act.
Yeah, because there'll
however.
be a lot of straight guys that'll be like, all right, well, there's going to be 90% of gay dudes there, so that the women are not going to get hit on, so I can go in and I can hit on the girls, because you know what I mean? So you get these sort of like I see it. I see it all the time. They're like, all right, they're not going to, like, we're going to swoop in and we'll be the straight guys at the gay bar where the girls are just there to dance and feel safe,
I've had guys come up to me and say, like, let me know next time you're going to WeHo, because man, that's a pussy haven. Will you hand me that bell? fuck you. Like, no. Like, I'm not saying, yeah, I will kick you out of the car before we get down there.
Such a weird
You can
sentence.
roll to the butt. And believe it or not, guys have said that.
Yeah.
Where it's just
I'm
like,
going to Rocco's for the pussy.
yeah, and I'm like, and here's the thing. You will have a lot of women down
Right.
there.
Yeah,
And
all
I'm
the time.
just like, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
anyways.
Women are not going down there to get hit on. They're not going to the gym to get hit on. There are certain places where women are just going to exist and not have to deal with it and not to be hit on.
Yeah, don't be a monster. Hit on them at church.
Don't be a monster.
Planned Parenthood. Get them with it.
I prefer a Barnes & Noble.
Ooh, there you go. I'm just in the self-help
Classy.
section. Excuse me.
Classy.
It's like an idiot's guide to having a big dick. What do I do with this? Just
Now that you're 10 inches, what should I do? Just like a...
Idiot's guide to having a big dick.
excuse me. Do you know where I can ring this up at? Is there a
No bag, no thank you.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Do you have? All right. We ask our guests to bring in questions for Kristie. She is a life coach, relationship person that's really good at giving advice. Do you have anything that you need help with currently that we can help you out with on this show?
Currently, no.
Great.
Because it
Great. You'd be surprised how many of our friends have problems.
well, I know her friend. And I think that's where I am, and maybe that's it. Is that unusual to feel like I don't want to be that kind? I feel selfish sometimes where I'm like, I can't give you what I know you should have in terms of like a boyfriend coming home, like, hey, I'm gonna come home late tonight. It's just like, look, I could maybe make it work on a Tuesday, and I have no problem with like. We don't have to just hook up. Like let's cut. I love the cuddling thing, and I have like a cuddle movie that everybody I've ever hooked up with probably knows this. So I have a projector, and I love that movie Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And I'll cuddle with it, and we'll watch. And it, that's where it happens. Right. Weird thing, and I don't know how to make this work on stage because this really happened. We were cuddling, we hooked up to Devil Wears Prada, and we both fell asleep. I woke up to this person watching Philadelphia.
Oh no!
I was just like,
"Where's Phil?" Before and after.
Ooh.
And I was like, "Why the fuck is this next in my queue?" Like, it's a good movie.
He put it on. We need to talk. All right, guys, please follow Employee of the Year, Eric Rocha. Thank you for coming on and doing the show.
It's always good
I
to
love
see
you so much.
man.
You're
It was so
you're
nice.
so
Nice
funny.
to
You're
meet
so
you
great.
as well.
Follow the show. We're on iTunes. We're on Spotify. Go to YouTube. The Justin Foster. We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys on Sniffies.